皆さんこんにちは、FOX 中隊長です。今日も早速、FOX シカゴさんとお話をしていきたいと思います。先日は数多く質問をいただいていたんですけれども、数点取り上げさせていただいて、シカゴさんに尋ねてみたいと思います。FOX シカゴさん、こんにちは。今日は、視聴者さんからいただいた、質問の中で2つほど取り上げさせていただいて、シカゴさんにお尋ねをしていきたいと思います。その前に一つだけ僕の方からも質問をしたいと思います。シカゴさんのいるイリノイ州のシカゴ市というのは、全米の中でもブルーステート、特に民主党の強い場所だと知られています。それは一体何が原因なのか、なぜそうなるのか、なぜそうなったのかということを少し聞かせてください。
This is kind of a harder question, and I think that it talks about just the way that people are, and I think that a lot of the states that are red, those states are red because they have a strong rural population, people that live Inaka and so on and so forth, and those people who have to work with their hands all day long, and work their land and keep an eye on it and maintain it and take care of it. They learn to respect it. They want a government that supports them working hard. They already work hard. But the people who live, a lot of times people who live in the city, they don't have to deal with fighting with nature. They have to deal with higher prices because there's competition with everyone else for housing. And you're living it up. You're in the city. You've got to pay for expensive food. So everything's very expensive in the city. And I think people are inclined to pursue governments that offer more benefits to people who have to be compacted with each other, as opposed to people who want benefits to help them work, to help them survive, that take less money out of their pocket. People who live in cities, I think, they need more help. Even if they have higher incomes, they spend more of their income on frivolous things. So in a state like Illinois, Illinois has one of the biggest cities in the United States, Chicago. Chicago's, I think, the third or fourth largest city in the United States right now by population. And it's massively blue. And there's all kinds of problems that come with it, and there's all kinds of benefits that come with living in Chicago. I mean, Chicago has access to some very nice museums and food, but at the same time, there's a lot of crime, and people react to it in different ways. So why is Chicago blue? What's it like living in blue? Sometimes maybe it has to deal with the education system, where a lot of teachers organizations, a lot of teachers unions and stuff like that, they'll come together and they'll agree on things. And the intellectuals that they are, they think more about things instead of doing them, I think. And I guess they just choose to pursue more leftist ideas. I'm not really sure why, but it must be beneficial to them in some manner. But they pass that on to our children, and they seek to pass laws forcing children to learn different things that pushes them further left and makes them more blue. And it's just kind of a vicious cycle, I think. A lot of it is also, why is Chicago blue? Why is Illinois blue? Chicago is also a major destination point for illegal immigrants, because there's a lot of illegal labor that goes on here. A lot of restaurants will employ illegal cooks, because they're you can pay them way less. And instead of having to pay a guy $9 an hour, you can get away with paying him $3 an hour, and he'll work twice as hard because he needs that money, and he knows he'll have he thinks he'll have a hard time finding a job elsewhere. Or he'll do illegal construction labor, and the employer doesn't care. You're just a day laborer. They don't have to record that. And so the thing is, when the illegals come here and they're promised free things, they're promised benefits, they're promised rights by the left, then it makes them vote left. And so when they have their kids, America has a naturalization law. If you're born here, if you are born in the United States, you can claim U.S. citizenship. So they'll come here, they'll have their children. Their children will help them stay in the United States. And they'll grow up blue, because their parents will grow up blue, voting for things that benefited them. And so it's a vicious cycle where the cities want the illegal immigrants because they know that they'll vote blue. So they make laws that benefit them to bring more of them into the city to make it more blue so that they can keep winning.
The question came from my subscriber.
Okay. Hello,
just
subscriber.
I
Thank
want
you. Thank you for your question.
358ミルコさんからの質問で、バイデンが就任し移民を追い返さない、アメリカで逮捕されている不法移民を釈放し強制送還しない、平均賃金は倍の15ドルにするとしています。民主党支持者の方はこうした政策も OK と考えているのでしょうかという質問です。This is a
Well,
question.
okay. Well, Minuko-san, thank you for your question. We appreciate any questions given to us, and hopefully we'll be able to answer everyone who has questions for us. So with the illegals, even I think this goes back to what I was saying earlier, that the reason why Democrats encourage illegals or give them more leeway for illegals to come here and protect them is because they know that in the end they'll vote for them. And especially if you look at states like Texas, where if you look at the way that the counties vote, all of the counties on the border with Mexico are very, very blue. Of course, the cities are blue as well, because all big cities, like I just talked about, all big cities tend to go blue. But on the border where illegal immigrants are very dense, it all turns blue very fast. And I think that that's largely because of illegals that just come there and settle immediately over the border. They're here. It's where they live, and then they have access immediately to Mexico right on the other side, so they can still be in contact with their family or help even more people cross. And that's probably why it's blue all along the border that way. But for why do Democrats does the left support this? Absolutely, yeah. People on the left, absolutely, they support this, and I think that it's part of the mentality of people on the left is that they try to be very caring. They're very bleeding hearts. They care a lot, and they want to help everyone. And so if these people come here and they can have a better life, they think that that's a good thing. The problem is that it's not really, because what it does is that the people who have good motivation to work, they'll leave their country. They'll leave Mexico instead of staying in their country and doing something that will help make it better. The minimum wage. The minimum wage question. I want to make sure I answer that. The thing is that does the left also support raising the minimum wage very high? Yes, they do, because they think that everyone will get paid those $15. But the thing is that it's just like when you go down to McDonald's. There are a couple of people behind the register, but there's also a lot of them will have button panels where you'll order everything. Those used to all be jobs that people have, and in the United States, for the most part, those still are all jobs that people have. If they raise that wage to $15 an hour, if they raise those wages, the minimum wage, a lot of people will lose their jobs because it will be too expensive for the company to employ all those people. They'll just lay them off. If you raise the minimum wage like that, less people will make money. That is what will happen. So does the left support that? Yes, they do, because they think that it helps people. That's that answer.
Okay, thank you.